Welcome to Fouts Boxing Theory, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at Jermall Charlo versus Jose Benavidez. David Benavidez' older brother, but smaller. We're going to be taking a look at, kind of the flow of the fight, what happened, what each fighter did right and wrong, and a few ways that we can kind of take this and make ourselves better fighters. Okay, so the first thing, we're going to set a tone for the fight, right? So as Jermall Charlo approaches the line here, David Benavidez sees his weight coming, or Jose Benavidez sees his weight coming. Jose Benavidez, to be honest, a pretty good fighter, a pretty solid fighter, does most of the stuff pretty well. He lacks on defense a little bit, and we're going to talk about that as the fight plays out. But noticing this kind of shoulder feint timing, right? One of the most important and basic ideas in boxing or combat sports in general. Now, as he gets to the front foot, Jermall Charlo is also going to be seeing that Jose Benavidez gets to the same position. He's ready to throw a jab. Now watch what Jose Benavidez does. He's going to jab and he's going to pendulum after. Okay, closing the distance after he controls space with the jab. All right. Now, again, as they meet to the front foot here, meeting to the front foot as Jose Benavidez makes it there, which is the place where he would jab, and then would wind up throwing his or his jabbing and then penduluming, right, coming forward. Jermall Charlo tries to intercept him and kind of block him and stop him from coming forward, right? Obviously, right? That's what you're supposed to do, control space. And Jose Benavidez kind of throws like a little counter, not like anything for real, but again, watch Jose Benavidez off that same timing. He gets to the front foot here. Jermall Charlo sees the jab. He kind of pulls it just a little bit. Whoop. And then Jose Benavidez pendulums off that jab, boom, to close the distance, tries to control him with the hook. Normally, people are going to kind of turn into the hook, right? But Jermall Charlo kind of pulling away, right? Now, the reason that he's pulling away, on average, Jermall Charlo doesn't really, he's not really a counter puncher, right? Once you slow down in front of him, of course, he's going to take advantage of your holes, right? When you make mistakes. But as the round weighs on, you can see them both trying to jockey a little bit for position here, trying to get to the front foot, playing that lead hand control here, feinting with the jab here, getting him to control with his rear hand, trying to pendulum forward, and getting kind of stuck on the back foot here. And now look at Jermall Charlo not allow him to come forward and cross the line to get into that position to jab, right? Giving him a lot of space there. Also trying to intercept his ability to throw other punches, right? Now, as he comes forward, he gives him a little feint, and we see him kind of shell up. And one of the things that happens is, early in the fight, is Jermall Charlo wasn't really trying to control any space with punches or counters or this. He was just trying to move away, and he gets kind of feinted here, right? We can see him trying to dodge as Jose Benavidez gets to the front foot. We can see Jermall Charlo's head kind of pull back, and he gives him another feint. Winds up getting him off guard, right? Now, this is an important thing because while nobody's punching, or counter-punching rather, whoever winds up getting on the line and throwing their best punches or their combinations first is going to be, kind of at advantage, right? Now, in this clip here again, Jose Benavidez is going to throw that jab, and he's going to try to pendulum after, and we can see him kind of come forward, jab, and he tries to close the distance after, but after those other attempts that Jose Benavidez made, Jermall is trying to intercept that move. He knows there's a beat there. Now, this timing here is the exact same timing that Errol Spence uses, where he would jab and then he would pendulum and then he would try to come in off that big left hand. And Errol Spence was getting caught by Crawford and eventually stopped. But here, Jermall Charlo picking up on the same timing. Again, pendulum step is very dangerous. No matter how necessary it is, it's a very dangerous move. And here, Jose Benavidez is getting intercepted after jabbing, right, on his way to penduluming to close the distance, likely to throw another combination, but getting intercepted by Jermall. Now, again, here he goes. Jab, pendulum, and he tries to see if there's a counter coming, right, and move off the line. But look at Jermall Charlo's reaction, right? Here comes that punch, right? He's going to expect the two, and it comes down, and he tries to have a little bit of like head movement defense and stuff. But none of the stuff that he's doing there stops his opponent from actually throwing punches at him, right? None of those were counters. And Jose Benavidez is able to see that. He's able to pick up on the fact that, oh, he's not really trying to counter me. Now, I just wanted to include this real quick as he's slipping, crossing the line. I love that. He does kind of get hit here because he doesn't wind up pulling after he makes it to this side of the line. He sees the shot coming, right? But also, take another look. He makes his way to the front foot, and he's going to kind of pivot on the front foot. He has one of those habits too. So Jose Benavidez may have been just anticipating that he wasn't going to punch. There was no danger. There was no defense or offense there. But I do like the rear hand probe from Jose Benavidez there. Now, Jose Benavidez not countering very well. Okay, very easy, as we saw when the 3 jabs came at him last time. He gets feinted here, gets jab to the body, and then controlled, and not really forcing Jermall Charlo to give him kind of any different responses. Right now, coming in with a jab up top, boop, and then going to the body with a hard jab here. Again, Jose Benavidez not countering. He's not looking to take away any of the offense from Jermall, right? Just trying to hope that he's going to be the one going backwards and not following up. Jabbing, penduluming forward, gets control. Again, if you don't counter him, right, there's going to be space for him to kind of do that move and kind of sneak some shots in here. So like some decent offense there, but again, without the counter punching, comes in with the jab, boom, boom, boom. And he kind of does what I call flooding the line. Okay, just kind of letting his hands go. It doesn't matter, what his opponent's reaction really is, as long as that we know that reaction is not going to be counterpunch. And Jose Benavidez, after being attacked, had shown multiple times that he would just allow Jermall Charlo to have all that control of the line. Now, Jermall Charlo, after throwing, kind of does a little bit of a mistake, all that stuff on the front foot. Now he has to pivot on the front foot. He doesn't have all that great of footwork and gets kind of stuck there. But a common problem that he has is not defending his position after, not getting off the line, kind of just hoping that his opponent is going to do that for him. Okay. Now, coming forward, and I want to talk about this too, because Jermall Charlo, interesting in this fight, is almost all of his openers came from the left side of the line, which made it pretty easy sometimes for Jose Benavidez to interact with him. Now, Jermall Charlo is trying to figure out the same thing here from Jose Benavidez. He's going to come in, and notice before he would intercept that jab, and he was catching Jose Benavidez with the jab on the way in. Well, this time Jose Benavidez comes with a right hand instead, a little bit of a left feint. Jermall Charlo tries to counter with the jab, and he goes over the top with the right hand. A pretty good adjustment from Benavidez. Couple of extra punches there, and again, not a lot of counters so far from Jermall, but I do want you to pay attention. Look at how he moves to the back foot. He almost gets away from the shot, right? Okay, coming back with a little left right block there, but we'll talk about how that changes in a little bit. Now again, same exact move, right? And even the camera angle looks very similar too. I think this is at the beginning of the next round, but no, this is maybe at the end of the third or the first round. But coming in, jab, pendulum 2, trying to make it like a 1-1-2 off of the pendulum there. And now Jermall Charlo is gonna kind of do the same thing here. Jab, pendulum, 1, 2, 3, following up, and again, pivoting on the front foot, staying close with that jab, right? Not the safest exit after throwing a sequence there, right? One of the things after you throw a big sequence, you probably want to get off the line. Jermall Charlo, very, very front foot heavy, and has a very difficult time getting his weight, to the back foot. But very, very common sources of offense for these guys. These guys, fought the fight very similarly. And one thing that you probably notice right away about these guys is that one is much bigger than the other. And that's going to play a little bit of a factor in later stages of the fight here. But for the most part, the beginning of the fight was pretty even. Okay, now I believe this is the beginning of the second round here. Coming forward, trying to control that lead hand of Charlo's here, not allowing Charlo, even though he's crossing the line, not allowing him to blast out in that jab, that very powerful jab that he throws. So controlling it, giving him a little bit of a feint here, throwing a 2, and then shifting this way, almost finding a left hook. Charlo does a good job of getting under it, pretty decent. Now they're tight. Close in here, and again, Charlo not really countering, not really looking to make Jose Benavidez pay for the fact that he's so close, allowing him to just kind of let go of punches, and it allows him to get like a little bit of a an offensive advantage in some spaces, okay, just for scoring wise, right? But once he's there, we can kind of see here he gets clipped on the inside, right? Neither one of these guys are, blocking punches super well, defending their position super well. And both of them kind of looking to sit on each other's line. So we see Jose Benavidez eat a shot here. He's going to eat that shot hard right there, and then another shot here. But a pretty decent flurry from this actually might be the end of the first round. Yeah, I believe this is the end of the first round here. But a really, really decent job jumping on his line. And again, if he's not defending his position, he's not countering, it's easy to just throw big flurries at him as well. So as long as neither one of these guys are, countering, it's easy to just flood the line and throw bad punches at people. Not, I don't want to say just bad, but it doesn't matter what the technique is if the guy's not countering. Now, the beginning of the second round, I believe that's what this is here. Sorry, confusion. Yeah, I know, you guys hate it, whatever. But without the counters here, Jose Benavidez is able to flood the line. And this is right at the beginning of the second round, just trying to score, get some free points here. But not a lot of countering from Charlo as the fight develops here. Boom. Now, he throws this shot, rolls under the line here, but it's really cool because he enters the line with his rear hand instead of his lead hand, and it makes it so much sneakier against Charlo. Charlo expecting the lead hand, right? But he's able to cross the line and throw a very, very excellent controlling shot, and then kind of rolls under the line here, and then finds Charlo trying to get those points back, right? A little bit of a jab, and again, a very, very powerful jab from Charlo as well, and kind of stealing a little bit of the scoring there, landing good shots like that. Now again, controls the jab here, boom. And look at how he's parrying it here. So Charlo makes a little bit of an adjustment off of his jab here. He's going to get control of him as he's coming forward. Boom. See how he's got in the guard here and then kind of comes around the guard with the little left hook. Now, if we pay attention to this, that was all lefts there, right? Now he's going to get on the line. Ooh, a nice little probe here. Ooh. So Jose Benavidez tries to counter with the right hand, right? So notice he gives him a feint here. And Charlo gets his left glove up, expecting that shot. Ooh, pulls this one a little bit, tries to block it, and he anticipates the shift here, catches him with an excellent, excellent shot. Doesn't allow Benavidez to get on his line super well, counters him with a good shot. But a really, really nice adjustment. And Charlo's starting to get Benavidez's rhythm here, right? As we see him control the jab, boom, he sees he's going to follow him back, pulls off the line, throws a jab here. We're going to see another similar sequence later in the fight that Charlo's going to do where he lands a really good shot. But again, kind of picking Benavidez off right there. Great timing. Same kind of timing. Again, catches Charlo on the front foot. Now, Charlo, much easier to hit. Most of the time his hands are not in position to guard the line. His hands are in this weird perfunctory place where he's, I don't know if he's trying to be sneaky or what. But Charlo doing a good job of getting Benavidez's rhythm. Now, I do think Benavidez fought a pretty good fight. No counterpunching makes it very, very easy to score. And again, Charlo entering the line from the left side or the right side of the line with the left hand, 1, 1, 2, 3, no counters, free scoring, right? Even able to get that follow-up jab that he's been sneaking on in a lot of the sequences. Now, starting to time Benavidez. Benavidez comes in with the 1, almost gets countered with the 2, and now coming back again with that little uppercut here. So a really, really good shot, a really good sequence there from Charlo. Here we are into round 3. I'll see if I keep those up here. So getting to that front foot, expects a jab at that beat right there, and now comes in off of a kind of an uppercut into a hook. No counters here, and kind of allows Benavidez to kind of flurry. And this is something that he would do at the beginning of every round when he was fresh. Just kind of let his hands go and try to score. And again, good defense is not just being able to move your head or stop your opponent from landing, but it's also being able to interact with your opponent while he's punching with you. Because if you just let a guy, who's stronger or bigger or faster than you, just unload punches on the line like this, he might actually catch you with something while you're trying to do this weird Canelo-like. I know people are obsessed with his head movement, but it's not good, right? It's not good to just let your opponent throw huge combinations like this. It introduces a lot of variance into your fighting, and prevents you from getting the most amount of value out of how good your head movement or your defense was. Now, again, Charlo coming from the left side or the right side of the line with the left hand, 1-1, to, um, you know, decent control of the line, right? Because again, he's not really countering. Now coming in with the one into the hook here, right? Very, very common patterns, not that difficult, right, for Benavidez to see coming, but he did wind up finding a way to get him there. But again, never really super successful with that first explosion, right? That first thing, too easy to see coming. But all of his attacks so far from the jab here, starting on the same side of the line. Now again, no counters. It just allows him to do stuff like this. And this is a good shot here. You know, he really snapped his head back sometimes. And I was actually pretty surprised that he didn't actually get the stoppage because he was able to land so many shots. I do want to say that the guard from Benavidez is much better than the guard from Charlo. Um, but Jose Benavidez is still pretty easy to hit. You know, reminded me of something that Danny Garcia said, in which one of the reasons why he picked Charlo to win. Decent shot over the top, and again, because Charlo opens up with his left hand here, he makes him kind of himself susceptible to this right hand over the top here. But after the right hand, Charlo continuing with that little fashion of throwing that right uppercut to counter, and then again another right hand shoulder roll here, almost gets him, but Benavidez goes for a combination and actually clips Charlo, I think. Another open up with the left hand, and I think that's the end of the third round. But most of the fight very similar. You know, Jose Benavidez would jump on the line. Now we're in the fourth round, but Jose Benavidez would jump on the line and not getting a lot of value here, right? Charlo not allowing him to get down, catching, ducking, right? Using a little bit of head movement, predicting this move here. But Jose Benavidez, again, trying to look to get to a position where he can flood the line at the beginning of the round. And Charlo did a good job that round of not letting him get there. Now, as Jose Benavidez slows down, it makes it a little easier for Charlo to interact with him. And as the fight progressed, right, toward the fourth round, I think Charlo started finding more and more of those little spaces here. Benavidez is going to come forward with the jab here, and he's going to get countered with the left hook. A really, really, really good shot. As it becomes easier to anticipate what it is that Benavidez is going to do. Now, I thought this was a really sweet sequence here from Charlo. It's one of the first times he's opened up with the right hand. And as we can see, Benavidez winds up in a very, very, very poor position here. And Charlo's able to counter him with a left hook here, just setting that up with the right hand, perfectly getting across the line. And again, surprising him by not opening up on the left side or with the left hand, right, and from the right side of the line, but opening up with the right hand, and wound up being able to score a pretty solid blow. Now, it takes more than one good shot. Boom, counters him again, doesn't allow him to get any value there. It takes more than one good shot to hurt a guy and drop a guy, and that's why one of the reasons why it's very interesting that Charlo, with sequences like this where he could just go on a tear and throw punches, wasn't able to get Benavidez out of there. You know, it was like round 5, here we go. It was like he just didn't expect himself to really have game against him. Now, round 5 was interesting. One of the adjustments that Benavidez started making here is he would start leaping in with this body shot. Now, it's kind of getting deflected by the elbow of Charlo here. But interesting, he doesn't follow it up there, right? Now, again, coming in with that leaping body shot, again, gets him with another one. He gets kind of warned here for being low or something. But in the next sequence here, he's going to, again, go to the body here. It gets blocked, create some space. Again, he got all that great control over Charlo, and he didn't follow up. But now he's going to come back to the line, and he's going to go down. And again, if you guys are new here, I have a 2-foot punching theory that says that we drive from the ground from both of our feet. We don't just use our feet to rotate our hips, but we want to actually be actively driving our legs and our feet from the ground by getting down. And here it is, Benavidez getting down here and coming up, making him think it's going to be a body shot, and he throws this hook to the head. Now, I'm the first person in history to come up with this theory of 2-foot punching, and also the first person in combat sports history to figure out exactly how all of power punching works. Okay, if you guys want to learn, you don't need to be a superhero, you don't need to be born an athlete. I will turn you into an athlete with my program. I have a shadowboxing program called the square drill and the circle drill in the combat system that's going to teach you how to build the athleticism that you need to be a power puncher. Okay, it's also going to teach you all the techniques, what to do with your feet, what to do with your legs, what to do with your shoulders and your head. And one of the more interesting ideas is also what to do with your hands. Okay, Ryan Garcia isn't fast as shit for no reason. Tank Davis is not fast as hell for no reason. And I'm going to teach you a shortcut to learn what they've spent their entire lives learning. Okay, that they don't even understand how what they're doing so that they can do it in both hands. Not to say that Tank can't punch with both hands, but he's not as good with both hands as he is with the left hand. And the same thing with Ryan Garcia. If Ryan Garcia was understood what he was doing with his left hand as he can perform it, then he'd be able to do the same thing with his right. So anyway, again, I'm the first person in history to be able to understand exactly how power punching works. If you want to learn the technique and you want to learn the rhythms and the patterns of what Jose Benavidez is doing in here with his pendulum jabs into those moves, into moves like this, the downs and the ups, check out the Fouts Boxing Combat System. You will not be disappointed with how it comes out. Anyway, as we continue, whoops, okay. Is that this one? Yeah, okay. All right. Now, a little bit of southpaw work here from Benavidez, but again, as the fight started going on around this round, Charlo started feeling more and more comfortable letting his right hand go, and something kind of in stark contrast to the rest of the fight, but just letting it go almost whenever he wants to. And it was not just in the southpaw, even when he's in the orthodox, feeling comfortable and safe with how Benavidez is kind of slowing down. 5th round, and now here we go into the 6th. And again, trying to explode, trying to get some value, trying to take advantage of the times early in the rounds where there wouldn't be as many counter punches from Charlo. Now again, Charlo doing a good job controlling Benavidez here, gives him a 1, 2, controls him there, and then hits him with the hook on the side. Really, really good work. But again, not really moving after he punches. Boom, boom. Good work. Again, not a lot of counters from him. And the 1 into the hook being a very, very effective combination because of Benavidez always trying to catch so many jabs. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but not being able to get to a position where he can, block both, catch, and then see the hook coming after. Coming in with a 1, 2. Now, one of the first times here that Charlo has been able to actually slip a right hand from Benavidez. Most of the time when he would let that shot go, he would just kind of catch him. But after seeing the other side of the line, again, Benavidez slowing down a little bit, coming in with the left shoulder forward, coming here, 1, throwing this shot. Even if it was a jab here that he threw, he's still countering with the right hand over the top, getting his head off the line, and kind of smashing him here. Again, Charlo doing a really, really good job in this fight, slowing Benavidez down. Instead of intercepting him here with the jab like he normally did, he crossed the line and threw an overhand right. Really, really, really sick shot. And again, one of the only things changing in the fight is that Charlo never really stopped being able to do this. Each round he would still have his ability to get on the line with the 1-1-2s, 3s, throw these punches. Now, I do want you to pay attention to, this is a lot of energy. Boom, 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 boom. That's a lot of punches, right? A lot of punches to set up punches. Even though Benavidez's hands are up, right? He didn't eat that one. He didn't eat that one. Nah, one's questionable, right? That was a good one. That was a good one, right? But 3 snaps to set up the 2 snaps there, not a bad trade. But when you always have to put 5 snaps together, right? 5 hard, sharp moves like this, it can be very taxing, right? Ask Benavidez, who's basically fought the exact same fight as Charlo, except he's a little bit smaller. He's not as big and strong. But I do appreciate his sacrifice. Now, We remember this move earlier, the jab, and then he tries to follow him back, and now he moves back and catches him with this uppercut here. Really, really, really slick trap here from Jermall Charlo. Really, really enjoyed that. But again, um, not able to defend his position after making a good attack. He doesn't really have good defensive responsibility. Kind of eats a shot, I don't want to say for no reason. All right, but round 7, again, most of the same patterns being there, but we have Benavidez slowing down here, getting on the line, getting intercepted easily, a lot less active, much more one punch at a time. Still able to, throw flurries, but Charlo kind of taking the control of the flurries, right? Boom, intercepting him again, And, you know, a rear hand probe like this is basically the exchange rate in terms of scoring for the pace of the fight right now in the 7th round, where he's, landing one random shot like this, but he's allowed Charlo to kind of open up with so many combinations. And then again, another combination here. Boom, boom. And just not enough overall scoring opportunities for Jose Benavidez, even though it was a good fight. Now, again, very, very similar, one punch at a time now from Jose Benavidez when he's not exploding. And Charlo and Benavidez basically about the same in terms of explosions per round. But Charlo with a few more maybe, and definitely the more effective ones. Now, again, boom. And now Benavidez coming in with this left hook to the body here after getting cracked by that shot. And that's going to come in here, boom, with a leaping shot to the head. A really, really good shot. Again, he landed this shot earlier in the fight, kind of going back to this sequence, landing a good, hard shot. And again, he had his little flurry at the beginning of the round trying to score. But most of that round, the same as the rest of the fight. Again, starting the round off really tight or really, really explosive, really trying to score and get some value, but using so much energy right there, not getting a lot of value, and then again, getting picked off on the way in, throwing that body shot, and trying to explode. And this is all within the first 20 seconds of the round starting. And then we've got Charlo again, who's much more capable of scoring while he's exploding, while Jose Benavidez is resting. Again, he spent all that 1 minute resting for that 15 punch sequence that he just let out against Jermall Charlo. Got no value and had to rest again. Started getting beat up all over again. No, we're not going to do anything in round 10. We're going to end the clips here with Charlo. This is in the 9th round. But look at him giving him a little bit of active guard. If you guys don't know what an active guard is, it's my personal theory about how we should be in the ring with our opponent. It's a theory that I created about constantly having movement so that we're able to disguise our movements, but also create more safety. Okay. A lot of 90s boxing was talked about the idea of sitting in one position, right? You've got people talk about a stance, right? In boxing, and in combat sports, there's not a stance. You have positions. Okay, I'm also the first person in history to define what a position is, right? Position on the front foot or positions on the back foot. Before that, they said, oh, he might be lead leg heavy, but they didn't talk about positions, right? But as your opponent crosses the line, which is one of the things a high level fighter is going to do, they change positions. And being able to cycle through the position, the front foot position and the back foot position, or as I call them, position 1 and position 2, I'm not only able to create safety, but I'm also able to create a threat on your position, right? And that's one of the things that Charlo can kind of do here and control, right? By giving him that little feint there, giving him boom, boom, right? Boom, boom, and eventually exploding into this shot. I don't think that he understands all of the idea of using an active guard. That's why he stays in his bladed stance. And that's because Charlo is one of those guys who learned from a 90s coach, where everyone thought you wanted to be behind the left shoulder. It was the easiest place to start the fight from. But then he just learns to stay there. And that's why he throws so many left hands and opens up from the left side so often. But as we saw throughout this film study, throughout most of the fight, aside from the ones where, each one of them would just jump on the other's line and, throw haymakers, ba 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 ba. A lot of the shots that Benavidez, we would see him picking Charlo off with, were rear hand probes. We also saw him open up with the rear hand into the three. And this is something that's much, much, much more difficult to do if you're not cycling through your positions and using an active guard. Okay, now if you guys want to learn more about this stuff, again, check out the Fouts Boxing Combat System. It's got like 40 hours of content. It's got my personal students as I teach them how to do this stuff, going through, watching their videos. It has a lot of really, really cool stuff. There's some testimonials in there about people I've taught in person. There's some of those are on YouTube as well if you guys are curious or interested about people that I've taught in person. Yeah, but some of the things that Charlo needs to work on, right, is not just having, an active guard, right, as we saw in this clip here, just moving his head from side to side, right? Why is he not getting punched in the face, right? But if he can learn to do this and also guard the line with his hands, right, it would make him much, much, much more dangerous if he could continue to conceptualize what effect this type of strategy has on the fight. Now, Jose Benavidez, another thing that Charlo needs to work on, he had a couple of those little traps where he would jab and then he would pendulum step off the line, and then he came back with that right hand that one time countered him. But he needs to be able to fight more off of those kinds of jabs, but without having to take those huge steps off the line. I call them, traps or pull counters, right? And again, if you guys want to learn that stuff, I teach how to pull counter correctly in the Fouts Boxing Combat System. But Charlo, not just learning how to set the traps and whatever off the left side, but also off the right side as well. And this would make it so that he would be more efficient on the line, right? Having three throwaway punches so that you can land two, decent punches, that's a really good rate. That's not bad. The only problem is that it can still get really taxing to have to give away, 5 moves on the line every time you want to score, right? Even if it's good scoring, because are you going to be able to do that in the very next sequence as well? You're just going to jump on his line and throw 5 more punches, and then you hit him twice. Maybe you hurt him, maybe you didn't hurt him yet, maybe because the first 3 punches were all throwaway punches, so you haven't landed any power punches yet. So you don't have as much snap left, as much, to land that shot. So finding a way to land punches earlier in his sequences rather than having to explode so much into them. And again, that comes off of learning how to fight off of your own punches. Now, Jose Benavidez, well, number one, he needs to learn how to get stronger and bigger and more in shape. He also needs to learn how to be a little bit more conservative with his work. He would get on the line and he would throw 10 punches. He would try to score and make all these, all these points. But then he couldn't keep up protecting his line and preventing Charlo from scoring for the rest of the round. So he would be sacrificing to score other opportunities to defend his own line. So being more conservative, landing more punches, earlier in his sequence, fighting off of his own probes, right? He did a decent job of the right hand and then to the shift and the roll into the hook, and then he got picked off. There are more ways to do that trick and that drill to make it better. Check out the Fouts Boxing Combat System again. Anyway, Benavidez needs to learn to have an active guard as well. He did do a decent job of being able to interact with his rear hand and finding those rear hand probes, very similar to his brother, right? But not having an active guard like we see with Charlo, giving the looks here, not being able to kind of disguise, because he could throw a right hand right here, and it would be pretty safe, right? He didn't expect it right there. Right? And Benavidez needs to be able to capitalize on this idea too. especially if you're good enough that you're going to be seeing people's shoulder feint timings coming. You're going to see people get to the line with their rear hand or their lead hand more often than not. Being able to cross the line and have your active guard also going to help Benavidez throw more leaping left hooks. So he doesn't have to sacrifice so many left hooks to the body, and then eventually jump in with a leaping left hook to the face. Anyway, um, yeah, if you stayed this long, um, I was going to start a little series um, where I kind of critique some bag work and stuff of some viewers. And if you guys um, wanted to send in some clips of your bag work, your training and stuff, I'm not talking about I'm going to critique the whole thing and tell you absolutely everything that you need to do, but I'll give you something to work on. If you send it in, we'll kind of do maybe like a weekly thing or something if people want to send some clips in. Um, in fact, I have a guy that sent one on Instagram. He's super mad at me that I didn't like break his thing down for free and tell him like all this stuff. Maybe I'll put his messages on here, put him on blast for being a dork. But yeah, bro, I'm fucking busy, man. You're welcome for all the free knowledge. Sorry, I don't have the time to teach you more for free, fucker. Um, but yeah, send in some clips, guys, and let's see if we can um, make this kind of fun and interesting. Um, yeah. Where should you send them? Man, I guess I don't know if posting them in the comments section here. I don't know if people can even post video links. Yeah, just post them in the comments section, and I'll come back in a few days and kind of get some. Yeah, you have until the end of the week to get your video posted or a clip posted, and I'll go through the comment section on Friday and try to make the video on Saturday. So yeah, okay. And small clips, guys, just like 30 seconds or whatever of you working on something that you need help with. Yeah, okay. Later, guys.